I love this sort of like dipping in aspect. Some people might think, what does, mental health and wellness have to do with career or career development? Maybe it could be helpful if your career is not going so well. And also, there's a lot of really amazing skills that you can bring, transferable skills that you can bring to your career and your career journey that you learn through attuning to self, figuring out kind of what's going on in there, being able to express your feelings in different formats. Some people write, some people talk, it can be lots of different ways that you can express. And also through affirming, meaning saying, really putting together your intentions and how you want to approach your day, your week, your career. So we're going to play a little game. I'm not sure how long it's going to take because everyone's going to kind of do it in their own space. And so I'm going to give us some time. I'm going to explain it, make sure we all get it. And then we'll have some time to kind of do one of the activities in our own space. You're not going to need anything really. Whatever's around you is okay. And then we'll have a moment to share, and then you'll go on to your next session. So hopefully we can fit that all in. I'd love for us to do a little bit of interaction, but let's start with, I want to share. If you see our career development quest, give me a thumbs up. I'm sharing just our PDF, which I am going to drop in the chat.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you, Derek. Yeah, thanks, David. I'm going to drop it in the chat while we're working on our quest. We liked the title, Career Development Quest, and so we figured let's gamify it a little bit. And so we have different levels of things that you can do, like Swoop, to win coins or hearts or cups or whatever it is that you're trying to win, but mostly be successful in your career. That's what we're here for. And some of this actually is about, putting into you. It's not about the output. It's not about making sure that your CV is amazing. Yes. It's also about tuning into yourself. That's our level one. So pausing and visualizing your goals and being mindful on the path ahead. Level two, like I mentioned, is expressing yourself. So ways that you can release stress, ways that you can refuel your creativity, or map up your overall journey ahead, or forward, I should say. And then level three, no consecutive order actually, is about affirming yourself. Celebrate what's working well and be open to new growth. So I'm going to suggest a couple activities and you can take a pick. Um, Level one, you can attune to yourself. So you can take some time in the next, we're going to do 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. I'll tell you when to start. Close your eyes if that works for you. Some people like to meditate, whatever that means. Some people like to kind of just put on relaxing music. Just a time to kind of check in and see what's going on for you, see what's happening for you. And visualizing what could be some of the goals, like what is something I'm seeking in my quest here. So that's one option. So it's a kind of an internal attunement, whatever that means to you. There's no exact science to this or the exact way to do it. It's very personal. Your level two, if you'd like to give it a try, is expressing yourself. So whatever writing utensils or anything that you have near you, paper, pen, keyboards, whatever it is that you have nearby, just start by doing some abstract sort of scribbling, some kind of, don't worry about trying to draw anything, but just, in a way, kind of connect. That's level one, kind of connect to self and go, how can I release some of this stress that I've been carrying, right? You might see that you use the pen differently, or if you have other items, I have a couple markers nearby my desk, or highlighters even. Sometimes I use those. Um, just a chance to kind of say, there's stuff that's in there that needs to come out. Okay, so that's level two. Again, attuning to self, expressing yourself. And the last one, which is spelt wrong, so don't do that on your CV, but affirm yourself, which is really about, taking some statements like, I am knowledgeable, or I feel the love, or, and I can put some options in the chat, but it's really making a statement that you'd like to kind of that will fuel your day, if lack of a better way to put it. And so it's sort of saying these affirmations about yourself. So you get to kind of take again a piece of paper if you want, or however you want to do it, and generate a few affirmations for yourself. And if you're amazingly excited about this, you could all do all three levels. So I'm going to drop this into the chat. I'm going to stop sharing, and that way everyone can have it. And I can take a few questions, if there is any, before we start. And I'll give people a time, not limit, but a time that we're going to kind of come on back together. Are there any questions about the activities that I'm suggesting? All right. Okay, brilliant. Now, you also, because I have no way of knowing, and it's not an assignment, you could not do anything, and that's okay. You can go and eat your dinner, or you can do whatever it is that you want to do. However, part of career development is actually being able to go, I gotta add some things to myself. I gotta check the vehicle that I'm driving around and make sure that it's good. Okay, make sure that it's okay. So I would love it if you took a chance, risk, to be vulnerable with yourself and choose either again, attuning to yourself, expressing yourself, or affirming yourself. Again, I'll drop the things in the chat. And let's go until, so Eastern time, let's go until 5, mm, 17. We'll go to 5:17, and then there can be room for, if anyone wants to share what they've experienced, and other questions around different ways we can attend to our mental health. Give me a thumbs up if that works for you. If you don't want to say anything. Okay. Again, Derek, awesome on the thumbs up. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to drop it in the chat as I've mentioned. Let me just do that. I'm not always the most savvy when it comes to that, but I will see you back here in basically 10-ish minutes. We feel like we're ready to maybe share a little bit. Give me a thumbs up. Doesn't mean you're going to be the one to have to share. Okay. All right, so return on back, whatever that means to you. Um, I'm somehow unable to put the thing in the thing, put the PDF in the chat. I always have troubles with this, and I'm not sure why. So sometime someone who knows how to do it can tell me that later, and I'll drop it in. I would love to, if anyone would want to share any piece of their experience, that would be great. It can be in the chat. It could be, you could raise your hand, and then we can kind of hear from you. Thanks, Joanne. And are we in charge of unmuting, or are people in charge of unmuting? I'm not sure. David, you might be in charge of that. So we have one hand up. All right. So you can unmute yourself, your hand up. Is it Noba, if I'm saying that correctly?
Yes, one of the things that I wanted to say is I couldn't find the chat, so I don't know why it's not working for me. But one of the things that I enjoy doing is sometimes just listening to the sound of water or either like um, voice meditation while I'm just like doing breathing exercises at the same time. It helps me because I work in a school with other children, and sometimes I feel like if I don't take the time out to take care of myself, I'm gonna burn myself out.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great option. Sort of the water background, or being able to kind of, we would say, like, regulate your system. That's a fancy way to say we're just gonna kind of go to our, chill place. That's great. I also love the water. That's a good strategy. What Zenoba's talking about is actually while at work, we might have to employ some of these strategies because sometimes our work can actually be stressful. I don't know if you've noticed, but work can be stressful, and actually burnout is the our inability to manage chronic stress. So um, that's a great example. Are there other things that people want to drop in the chat, or maybe their experience of attuning to themselves? Maybe you didn't never experienced that before. You're not sure what the heck that means. I'm happy to hear anything. Joanne's saying, I like standing in the rain or nature in general. And Joanne also put a quiet escape poem in the chat, as well as some affirmations. Does anyone have any expressions? I think Wesley had said it's difficult to express feelings, or I've never been one to express my feelings very well. Does anyone else resonate with that? Meaning it like, I don't know. I don't know how to express feelings. I'm just reading the chat at the same time. Yes. So some people do like struggle. Yeah. Me too, right? Cuddling my dog. Yes. I'm going to go back up to what Dana posted as well, but thank you for some of those answers. That it absolutely, people kind of take it for granted. We're just like, express your feelings, and it's like, I don't even know what I'm feeling. What? So being able to tune into that, that's actually really helpful in terms of working with others and colleagues in your workplace, being able to kind of tune into yourself and check yourself a little bit before an interaction, or a discussion or a conversation is always really helpful. So um, Wesley, we should really try to be just like you. You feel peace most of the time. Okay. Some people color, Olympia colors. Um, Water, rest, attention, movement. Heather's saying, beautiful. Dana said, I'm in the process of learning to release self-doubt and project confidence, right? There's confidence again. Griselda, nice. Crochet, I like that. Some people need to use their hands, right? Need to move their bodies. I have a colleague who needs to stretch and dance and move, and I'm not that person. So it's just an interesting thing. What would 8-year-old me think of how far I've come? Craig says, a very reflective piece. I love that. Were there any surprises? Were there anything you felt like, oh my gosh, like I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting to feel that, or I wasn't expecting to scribble that or draw that, or I wasn't expecting this activity. What are we doing, Any surprises? Everyone knows each other, knows themselves really well, or we're typing. There we go. Sometimes I write letters to my inner child. Yeah. So no surprises? No one had any revelations or aha moments? And it's okay if you didn't. I think that's a really beautiful sign, actually. Um, you're on a good path. We need to level up, right? To the next level 4, level 5. And also we go back and forth, right? Um, so for us, mental health and wellness, really not much more than that at this time. I will again master some skill set of putting PDFs in the chat, and so I'll drop our little logo in there at some point for you all to check out. I think just remembering that you are a part of your career development journey, your career quest. You are the thing, the entity, the person who is doing the work. And you really need to make sure you're taking care of yourself. And that doesn't just mean self-care. That's not what I'm saying. Care for self during work is actually really important. So attuning to self, being able to have outlets and things like that, and being able to know your thresholds are really important as well. So um, people are saying they're mowing the lawn, and I'm saying, Terry, you got to come do that at my house. So I think that would be really helpful. I appreciate that. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think if people would like to continue to share in the chat, I'm happy to wait and be here with you all, and pass that forward as we wait for our next session, because we're on we're on the go here for our career development evening. So please keep carrying on and sharing in the chat. And then David, if you want to take over and or not, that's fine. Thank
I'm
you so
here.
much. Yeah, yeah. Thanks,
I'm
David.
here.
Thank you so
That
much.
was awesome, Dr. Pitre. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you and all the work you do with our student population. Thank you. And yeah, this is just another wonderful thing they do over in mental health. Excellent, excellent stuff. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Um,
David. Thank you.